So we finally reached the NFC, and I'm going to talk about the NFC East, and I have very differing and controversial opinions about this division. So without further ado, let's get right into it. In last place, I have the New York Giants. Now, I don't believe in this team. Like, I just don't. I kind of feel the same way that I feel about the Colts. Like, I just don't believe in them. I just don't believe in them. Like, all the primetime hype they're getting, it's like, I don't get it, okay? Like, you get John Harbaugh, right? Are we going to act like he wasn't wasting Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry? Yes, Lamar Jackson was injured, wasn't his same self. But at the same time, this defense wasted. This offense wasted. They lost it. Like, John Harbaugh wasted a year of Lamar Jackson's career and Derrick Henry's career. Yeah, Derrick Henry was fumbling at the time, but here's the thing. Just because he was fumbling doesn't mean, I don't know, you set him out the entire fourth quarter, and now his new running back one is going to be Cam fucking Scatterboo. That's going to go over well. But then you have Jackson Dart, who's like, I don't understand why I'm getting checked up in the medical tent every once in a while. I mean, dude, it's not like you get hit to the point where it's like, okay, that might be a concussion and we need him checked. Like, dude, have you seen the amount of concussions that this guy has had? And it's like, the way he talks so crazy, brother. I mean, he was with Trump that one time, so don't be surprised if the Trump curse hits him like a train wreck. But I don't believe in Jackson Dart. Now, maybe I would believe in Jackson Dart, but I have never believed in Jackson Dart. Sure, he showed flashy plays. He showed potential. But at the end of the day, the amount of concussions he's getting, the amount of times he's like, I don't want to change my playing style, buddy. The only way that this Giants team can work out is if somehow John Harbaugh fleshes out Jackson Dart like he fleshed out Lamar Jackson. But I doubt that because it seems to me that Jackson Dart has maturity issues. And not to add on to the fact, but this whole team is young. You got Malik Neighbors as your wide receiver one back after a torn ACL. Will he be the same player again? Of course, practice clips have shown like he seems to be back, but will he ever be the same player again? Though I will say I like the signing of Isaiah Likely to be the starting tight end. He deserves that starting role, which the Ravens should have given him and let Mark Andrews walk. Which I still don't understand why the Ravens did that, but this isn't about the Ravens, this is about the Giants, and I just don't believe in this team. Now, maybe next year they have potential, but I don't feel like that potential is going to be immediately realized this season. Like, I just don't. I don't see it. This could be an absolute train wreck. That's why I got them at fourth. And then we got the Washington Commanders, which this is another team where you would seem that the league you would seem to have high expectations for, but then you would look at their roster and be like, oh, yeah, they might not be good. And add on to the fact of a hard schedule and Jaden Daniels suing over, my number was given, but Joe Burrows wasn't. Buddy, you are no Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow literally had the greatest college football season of all time. What the fuck are you talking about? But anyways, besides, I'm not going to say like, I'm just going to say out of respect for Jaden Daniels, I will not mention that this video is going to go into the fifth minute either way. But this Washington team, listen, they need to sign a wide receiver, and they've got one in Stephon Diggs. Now, will he go back to form? He kind of showed flashes in New England, but he really wasn't that type of guy like Hayshawn was with the Patriots. They really revamped that wide receiver room. Romeo Doubs is low-key underrated. I'm not going to lie. Packers fans love him so much. That's all I know. But, this is a very intriguing team. Of course, they got Sonny Styles, who did not look good at training camp. But it looks like he's realized his potential in the preseason so far. Like, it depends on the defense. Honestly, it comes down to the defense and offensive line. Like, is the defense going to be solid? Because the defense fell apart with all these old guys that they were signing, and it just didn't work out. They needed to get young guys, and they got Sonny Styles and whatever to help with that. But will it be enough in the offensive line? And you got Stephon Diggs and Terry McLaurin. Is Terry McLaurin going to be a true wide receiver one and actually be his money's worth? Or is he going to be the worst fantasy bust ever again? And is Stephon Diggs really just going to like prove like, yo, Patriots made a mistake cutting me even though I beat my chef? And then running back like Bill's not that guy. Or whatever, Christine Merritt or whatever. He's just not that guy. Like, he just wasn't fully recognized. He wasn't fully believed. He just didn't feel like that guy. Maybe this is the season where he sees the opportunity. I don't know. And then it comes down to Jaden Daniels. Listen, you were injured a lot last year. And the team just didn't go their way. The team fell apart. Could Jaden Daniels be the next CJ Stroud? Could he be? I don't know. But I think this season is going to be the one that decides it and what the narrative is going to be around this guy for his career going forward. Then number 2, we have the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry World. I mean, listen, this team could make a run to playoffs. Not NFC Championship or Super Bowl type of run, but they can make the playoffs. And I think they'll make it a wild card spot. And hell, if the Eagles just fizzle out again, they'll win the division, honestly. Because this offense is God tier. You got guys like Dak. You got Dak Prescott at quarterback, one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the NFL. The reason why people hate on him is because he's the Cowboys quarterback, which understandable. Running back, you got Javonte Williams, who has been underlying solid for them, and I would say underrated too. Like, this guy, like, it was all talk about how the Cowboys had no run game, and then Javonte Williams really just showed himself as a running back one. Of course, health is a concern with him aging, but I feel like he's that type of guy. And then wide receiver, I mean, you got CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens. Sure, CeeDee got injured, but here's the thing. If CeeDee's healthy and George Pickens just does whatever he's doing and not get in trouble, then I feel like, and then of course you got Jake Ferguson too, one of the best tight ends in the league. Like, this team's offense is Super Bowl caliber. Now it all just comes down to the defense. And they also got the best kicker. And it also comes down to the defense again. With now they added Caleb Downs because the Dolphins are a bunch of bitches. And they got Malachi Lawrence, I believe his name is. I might have got it wrong, out of UCF. Dude is built like a monster, and they finally got an edge that, like, ain't going to immediately make up for Micah Parsons, but he can definitely be something. And this defense has new pieces in place that could really be successful. Caleb Downs is one of the best football minds from college football, out of college football. He's one of the best football minds. That's what the Cowboys defense really needed. And of course, he fell to their laps. Another Buckeye is just going to have a successful tenure with the Cowboys. Why do the guys that I really love just go to the teams that I really hate? I don't know. I guess that's life. But yeah, I feel like this Cowboys team is definitely wild card caliber. They could make the divisional round, whoever they're defending in the wild card, but I think this team is going to be really solid, barring any injuries. Then we got the Philadelphia Eagles. Of course, this all comes down to the offense. Because listen, the defense is going to be great either way. Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell, Jalen Carter when he's not running over people or getting people killed. They've lost a few pieces. They lost to Kobe Dean. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting year. Of course, the defense is going to be great still. But it all comes down to the offense. Can the former Packers quarterback coach be the guy who revolves this offense again after Kevin Patullo? And here's the thing. All I have to say is this. If something like last season happens again, Sirianni has to be fired. He just does. He just does, man. Like, he just does. The fact if he wastes another group of talent. Now, I will give them one thing. Kyle Lemon fell to their last because, of course, somebody Somebody top tier just has to fall to the Eagles. It happens every single time. Though I will say, I did love when they hold the Steelers on that pick. I really did. I'll never forget that when that clip circulated. I laughed my ass off. But listen, you got Jalen Hurts, who his his reputation is in the gutter for obvious reasons. Saquon Barkley suffered the Trump curse. And A.J. Brown left, traded to the Patriots, which, wow, what a shocker. Absolutely nobody's expected that. God, those were the times. But now Devontae Smith is a wide receiver one, and I feel he is definitely capable of being a wide receiver one, and I really feel like he's going to have a big year. I feel like he's going to have a true breakout year as a wide receiver one, and of course you bring in Mekhi Lemon, who we're going to see how he infiltrates in that offense. Lane Johnson is basically in his last year, basically, he said. And you got the defense, which is the defense. So I feel like as long as the offense is good, this team should be good. This team should be well, and this team should be competing for a Super Bowl if all aligns. It all just depends on the offense. And yeah, that's how I feel about the NFC East. Let me know your takes on the NFC East. Do you think the Giants and Commanders are going to be the top two teams, and why you think the Cowboys and Eagles are going to be the bottom two teams? Whatever you think this division is going to go, we'll see. We'll see together. We'll see if this predictions ages like left out milk, or it could age gloriously. Either way, we'll see. But yeah, appreciate y'all for watching. Hoping y'all having a great day or night. Appreciate y'all. I'll talk to y'all next time.